Hello, it is Jack Gill, and welcome to Anfield Agenda. I am joined today, I'm delighted to be joined by Paul Gallagher, the brother of Noel and Liam, of course. We've got to talk about Liverpool, Manchester City yesterday, Paul. A bad result for us, obviously the 4-1 defeat, the third consecutive defeat at Anfield for Liverpool, the first time since the 60s. Paul, I've seen Liam having a few digs on Twitter. How did it make you feel?
Just another game, isn't it, for us? Well, it is. I mean, you were the team in fourth. We were the team at the top. You expect the team at the top to beat the one that's fourth, and it went as the pundits would say, it went to form.
It's difficult to take for us Liverpool fans though, Paul, because we haven't lost 3 consecutive games at Anfield since the 60s, as I say, and to lose the 3 small clubs at Anfield in Burnley, Brighton, and City hurts.
Oh yeah. Well, we are quite small actually. We're going for our 3rd title in 4 years, and if you're massive, then you should be winning it every year. You shouldn't be letting little clubs like City come in and showing you how to play football.
It's tough with the oil money though, mate. It's tough to compete.
Listen, money's money, man. Whether it comes from the ground, like the Beverly Hillbillies that struck oil in Hollywood in the 40s, or it comes from Wall Street, where yours comes from.
Oh, let's talk about you first of all, and your family. I said about Liam having a bit of a poke. Who's the biggest City fan in your family?
Well, we're all City fans. It's just one of them things. You go to the ground near where you live, and we lived in Longsight, and the nearest ground was Main Road, so that's why we're City fans.
Yeah,
we're not like you from Walsall. We go, I can support Aston Villa, Birmingham, Walsall, West Brom. Who's the other team up there? And they're all rubbish. And we go, you know what? My dad used to support Liverpool, so I'm going to support Liverpool like my dad. That's the difference.
City weren't a team till 2008, mate. So
here we go. No, we still hold the record. We still hold the record for the highest attendance. We won a cup 50 years before Liverpool. We won a European trophy 60 years before. I mean, in our 125-year history, we killed ourselves and come back in 2008 as Oil FC, did we?
Yeah, that's exactly how it happened. Let's dissect the game.
Go on then. Off you go. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your world-class keeper.
Rather than talking about us for now, let's start with a penalty. Gundogan and City's poor form with penalties against Liverpool. That's three consecutive penalties now you've missed against us, all off target too. What are the chances of that? Pep mentioned after the game about letting Ederson take the penalties in the future. What do you think of that, mate?
I wouldn't let Ederson take it. Ederson's a bit, he's hit and miss. I mean, he's great at striking 40, 50 yarders. He's better than Henderson at spraying balls, that's for sure. But taking penalties, you want someone to put the foot through it. You just give it Diaz and go, see that keeper, smack it straight at his head, and it's a goal. Diaz, 1-0. No.
It is bizarre though, mate. Your penalties against us, the chances of missing 3 in a row against the same side are very slim. And what do you put that down to?
Oh, I don't have no idea. It's the confidence of Gundogan's pretty solid. You expect him to score. He didn't. Sterling's pretty bobbing, so you expect him to miss. I expect him to miss. So I wouldn't give it Sterling. De Bruyne wasn't on the pitch. Aguero, who knows? It's all in the head, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. And then let's talk about the Liverpool penalty. Obviously, Mo Salah going down and under contact from
dive.
Diaz.
You mean the dive? I mean, I heard Scousers yesterday saying, "Yeah, mate, he nearly took his arm out of his socket." I'm like, "What game are you watching?" Mo Salah dives. He dives. There's no Liverpool fan can deny it. He dives. He does. The slight tug. Oh, mate.
He felt the contact and he's gone down. What's the difference between that and the Sterling penalty? What is the difference?
What do you mean? He felt the contact and he went down. Right.
Yeah,
So if I see hold on a minute. If I was filling me imaginary car up in the garage in Sefton, for instance, and I seen Mo Salah approaching, and I give him a little nudge, and he fell straight through the windows because he's so like fragile, that wouldn't happen.
It's part of the game.
What do you mean it's part of the game? It's cheating.
Part of the game. He's got the contact. He's won a penalty.
I mean, listen. To be fair to him, he does finish it quite well, but he is a born cheat. The end.
It's no different to what Sterling does, Mahrez does, Foden does.
What do you mean Foden does? Foden doesn't fall. Foden doesn't fall over. Foden smashes balls past your rubbish keeper. He doesn't fall over. Come on. Sterling goes down. Yeah. Well, where did he learn that then? At the famous Melwood Academy, straight over like a ballerina. Badoosh. No.
Well,
right. All right. You scored. Well, let's talk. Right. You scored your goal, so you got your equaliser. You're well in the game. Klopp's doing little dances on the touchline. He thinks you and him think we've got this. Go on, off you go.
I don't think we did, mate. I don't think we did because we recognise with City's oil money that they've got the stronger bench than us, and
whoa. You mean stronger bench? We took off Mahrez and put on Jesus, who done a bit more than Mahrez done in his 72 minutes. We put Jesus, who's a winger. He went to the wing. He done his job, and from then we scored 3 goals. I mean, God bless Gabriel Jesus, 27 million quid.
Well,
not bad.
There you go. You just answered your own question, but yeah, it was one of them. Really. I think Klopp got the subs wrong. But I think it was like one of them for me. I never, just because we got back in the game, I didn't think we were going to run away with it from that point. I thought the first half we were the better side, but you came out, you changed the shape in the second half, and you looked better. And for the first, 10.
Well, we went to 4-4-2, and 4-4-2. It's not a mind-boggling system. It just took a while for Klopp to work out what we were doing. We were 4-3-3. We went to 4-4-2. So Bernardo tucked in, and we went to town on you. I mean, 4-1 didn't flatter us. It could have been 6.
It did flatter you because, as you said, it came from 2 errors from Alisson. It was one of them where I think Alisson has been a world-class keeper for us, Paul. But yesterday was a bad day at the office for him, and if it hadn't been for them 2 errors, who knows what could have happened.
Well, if it hadn't been for them 2 errors, we still won 2-1. I mean, I did say to your mate a few days ago when he asked me to do this, I said we wouldn't lose. So I was quite confident we wouldn't lose. We didn't need to win, and we wouldn't lose anyway.
I mean, Liam didn't want to come on because he was worried, though, didn't he?
Worried? Well, you didn't ask him, did you?
I was worried, I heard.
No, mate. We ain't worried. We were 14th. At the start of the season, we had a bad start because we had no pre-season, and we carried on all the way through because we play in 4 competitions, unlike you lot who only play in 2. So we had no pre-season. We had injuries. We dropped to 14th. Everyone was crowing about Alex, you're over. Pep's gone. He's leaving at the end of the season. He's going to play snooker abroad somewhere. He's going on a tour. We all knew as soon as we started motoring, we'll turn you around. Like one of them ships, we just come in and just spin you. You don't know where you are. You're in it before you know it. You're in a typhoon and you're done. And that's what's happened to you lot. And it's going to get worse when Everton come and spank you.
We need to talk about how you've transformed it around though, Paul, because there's been a big difference in City this season. You've transformed your defence. Ruben Diaz has been an excellent signing of the summer, in my opinion, and he's brought out the best in John Stones too.
Well, apparently, if you listen to all the experts, we were supposed to sign Koulibaly from Napoli for nearly 90 million. And City are very smart the way they do business. They don't talk about it in the press. They just go, they sign the player, and when he's signed, then they announce it. Now, if you believe rumours, Diaz was the third choice, third target. So Koulibaly, 89 million, nearly 30 years of age. We didn't want him. Who else were we linked to? We were linked to some other div. and then sneaks in the Benfica captain, 23 years of age, the captain since he's 18. You go in there, son, and do what you got to do. And he's made Stones. I'm actually glad that Stones has come out recently and said, I make a good partnership with Ruben Dias, because at the start he went very English and went, "Oh yeah, thank you, I'm amazing again." No, you're not, mate. You got Ruben Dias beside you that makes you look good, and it's true. And then Laporte. I mean, Laporte went off the boil, but he'll be back. Any of them can play around the back, and we got Nathan Aki as backup. So we're not doing too bad defensively.
Well, you waxed lyrical about Manchester City, and you said that you're where you're at. You're confident going into the game yesterday, but it was the first win at Anfield since 2003. At that point, Oasis is still together. They just released Songbird. It wasn't a very good ground for you in the past.
Well, I mean, we can't. In the past, I've been there myself, and you've stolen points when you didn't. I mean, to be fair, you were, when you beat us most of them times when you were good. 70s and 80s, you were good. The 90s, you were bobbins. Well, we didn't. Well, we wasn't really there. We were hanging around the lower divisions, waiting for Jeffro and the oil money to come and rescue our famous club out of the ground. But then when we did come back, we had Nicholas Anelka. He popped up with a goal at Anfield, and then from then on, it's been the odd goal in the odd. It's been the goal. Anyone could have won them games. It's just gone either way.
And Phil Foden, obviously, 20 years old, real star for the future. Paul, I'll give credit where credit's due. I honestly think when he retires, he'll be one of the best English players we have ever seen.
Phil Foden is God, and he walks on water. Our academy cost 200 million quid to build. He's already paid for it on his own.
He was outstanding yesterday, and I suppose the only question I have to ask is why doesn't he get more game time at City?
Well, you do understand he's playing in a world-class midfield.
Yeah, but he's a world-class player.
Yeah, well, he is. But David Silva has just retired. Pep Guardiola is a world-class manager. He knows what he's doing. He's brought him on the right way. Everyone was complaining he should go out on loan. Yeah, let's go and send him to Burnley, and he'll learn a lot of Sean Dyche. He'll learn more of Sean Dyche playing with them cloggers than he'll play for Pep Guardiola. Pep knows what he's doing. He's brought him on the right way. And even at the final whistle yesterday, he said, "Listen, kid, you need to do more and learn the game." And he's right, because he does go missing. He's not there yet, but he will be. And put it this way, he's better than anything in your academy. That's for sure.
Did you watch Curtis Jones yesterday?
Who, what?
Did you see Curtis Jones yesterday?
Well, but I tell you, he needs a new barber. Whoever's doing them little Jermaine Genius snips on the air they need to go back to barber school.
I've seen your brother's hair in the 90s. Pack it in.
Listen, mate. That Jermaine Genius haircut ain't gonna catch on. It might do where you live in Walsall, but it doesn't catch on in the big cities. Curtis Jones, no, not for me. And I noticed your gladiator didn't look too gladiator yesterday. What's his name? Paul Jordan from Sunderland. He didn't look very gladiatorial at all. He looked very upset when Foden just glided past him.
What did you make of our starting lineup? Obviously, not having a recognised centre back on the pitch. Were you surprised that we didn't bring in Kabak or Ben Davies, our new signings for the game?
You've got 6 centre backs. Klopp doesn't like him. What happened to Nat Phillips? He started the other game. He didn't play. You've got the other fella with the little bun on his head. He's a defender. He didn't play. There's 2. You got 2 you brought in. So you've got 4 central defenders, but you put the gladiator in defence next to the other robot, Fabinho, who was lucky to stay on the pitch with the other fella, THIAGO, rubbish player. You got your pants pulled signing him. THIAGO, dirty. He should have been off in the first 2 minutes.
Nah, no chance, mate. No chance. He won the ball.
What do you mean he won the ball? He killed Gundo.
Ball.
But Gundo is electric. That he popped up and went, "You know what, you did? You try to get me out of it. Well, look what's going to happen. Bosh, bosh, bosh."
Well, we've got to speak about Gundogan as well. He's in the form of his life in England. I think he's been one of the most underrated players in England for years. I have said that, but this season, him and Diaz, surely they're pushing for Player of the Year.
Well, if it was me, I'd give it to Diaz.
Okay.
We don't concede goals. We conceded 2 goals in 14 games. We were 14th in the league before he came in after the Spurs game. And since then, we've just quietly gone about our business. Let the press, let Sky, let BT, let all them people that Liverpool United fans subscribe to, let them talk about themselves, and we'll just get on with winning games. That's what we do. We're just a machine.
The title looks done now, Paul. City
really?
did the fame.
Have you given up? Have you given up already? Come on, you wait 30 years to win the league, 16 games to go, and you've given up.
We're 10 points behind.
You're like neurotic women. You wait 30 years to win the league. All right, you didn't get a parade. You can blame COVID-19 for that, and you've not even defended it. You give up already.
Oh, you're forgetting. It doesn't matter. It's an asterisk season. There's no fans in stadiums. It suits City more.
Right. Okay. So
just because you're used to an stadium.
So you're passing on your asterisk title to us.
Oh no! Our season started in normal circumstances. This has been a full season of shit.
Right. So our 3rd title in 4 years. Not bad for a small club from Gorton.
It just seems without fans, mate. It just seems.
We just. Well, listen. We don't make the rules. We get on with it. There's no fans. Whatever. Who cares?
You make your own rules. You make your own rules. The FFP and all that. It's the City one, isn't it?
Listen, we went to your loft conversion football ground and battered you. Doesn't matter. There was no fans. There was plenty of scouts in there crying. So who's your next manager? Because I read somewhere Steve Gerrard is 5-2 favourite.
No chance. We'll keep hold of Klopp. The only issue I think is we need the owners to back him in the summer, which I don't know if it will happen.
Your skin. Your skin. Your football club is overvalued by Deloitte, who FSG has to overvalue so they can sell it to the Chinese. The Chinese have said, we don't want your shit club for $2 billion. We don't even want to buy 10th of it. What you got to do, Mr. Wall Street, is stop trying to cook the books and go and put some money in the football club you support.
Well, it's one of them. I think we are, I would agree. I think FSG do at times not put their hand in their pockets enough. But now I think is the time where we need it more than ever. And this summer we need some real investment. Some of our players are getting to the 29, 30, some of our best players. And maybe the front three themselves need refreshing too. But what I was going to ask, Paul, is, City did the famous domestic treble a couple of years ago. You're still in all 4 positions at the minute. I think you're in the best shape that you've ever been in terms of the Champions League because you've sorted that defence out of yours. Is it good times to be a money-grabbing City fan?
I mean, listen, to win all 4 trophies without a striker and without arguably the best midfielder in the world, who knows? It's a look of the draw when it comes to Europe, as you very well know when you beat a very poor Tottenham side. So Europe's a different bag. The League Cup final against Spurs, yeah, that's a given. It's going to be a boring game because Mourinho part of the bus. FA Cup, we'll find out in a couple of days when we go to Wales and show Swansea how champions play football. And then who knows, the league. I mean, I actually think we're going to do the domestic treble, break all the records again. We won't get an ounce of credit, but whatever. We're Man City. We keep the blue flag flying out. FSG have got no money. You have to sell to buy. Salah will be sold and Mane will be sold. The worst thing that happened to you is COVID-19 because the finances are taking a hit. There's no fans in the stadium. FSG, a businessman, they're going to look at it and go, listen, we can't. They'll give you some sob story. Klopp's going to cry. He's going to win. He's going to blame everyone else, apart from his backers who are not going to give you. I mean, this is proofs in the pudding. They give you 500 grand to sign a defender you didn't even play. Him.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with the first part, but Klopp's been very outspoken about the fact that FSG didn't go into the window till very late. You look at the nature of our signings, as you say, we bought someone from Preston on the cheap to £2 million. We loan Kabak with no option or obligation to buy. It's a very very cheap deal. So yeah, I think we did leave it too late as well. But I don't think it's the nature of Klopp moaning too much. I just think he's a man that's seeing things fall apart in front of him at the minute, and it's hard for us Liverpool fans to put a single thing on it.
Well, you've always bought cheap. You got Shaqiri when he got relegated at Stoke. I mean, you do like relegated players because Klopp likes to save them. Andy Robertson was relegated at Hull. Klopp saved him. Now he'll run through doors for him. Henderson was relegated at Sunderland. Klopp saved him. Shaqiri was relegated. Wijnaldum was nearly relegated. Listen, you're going to lose loads of players and you've got no money to replace them. Your academy's bobbins, and I hope you finish 8th. I mean, Klopp complaining that we've had 2 weeks off. Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah, we decided to get COVID. We give it to our lead scorer, Sergio. There you go. You have 2 weeks off, mate. You go and sit in that hotel for another 2 weeks because you got COVID-19. That's just nonsense. And Klopp was lying, and it backfired on him.
That's why it's an asterisk season, isn't it? Because you have teams getting 2 weeks off.
We had 2 days off, my friend. You had 9 days off before you played United, before you lost to United in the FA Cup, and you had another 9 days before. So you had 18 days off. You lost both of the games, and then the Manc Kings come to town and wipe the floor with you.
But I'm still confident we'll get top 4. I just think it's going to be tough, and we have to pull our fingers out our arses very soon.
I actually think Everton are going to do you. Leicester are going to do you. Brendan Rodgers is going to give you slaps. You could actually finish realistically. See, that's why I wanted Chelsea to win last night so they could put the pressure on Liverpool. If Spurs wake up a bit in Villa, you could find yourself 8th or 9th, and that would be disastrous.
You're obsessed with us, aren't you? You're obsessed with us.
No, I'm just telling you.
And your brother is. Your brother is.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
obsessed.
of course, yeah. Obsession as worn by Scousers.
Today because you've won. You wouldn't have done it if you lost.
Well, see, actually, it's funny you should say this because I wasn't going to do it at all. But even if we won, I thought these divs are going to try and stitch me up. But true to form, I'm not backing out. You're just not going to see my face.
A couple of years ago when we asked, though, didn't you?
You never asked me.
Yeah, we did. You didn't want to do it 2019, mate. We asked you on, and you said we were good.
I
asked and said you were in Australia.
I don't recall being asked.
Yeah, of course.
They don't.
Of course you don't fucking know that. And that ends the interview. Thank you very much, Paul, for joining me. I have interviewed the least well-known Gallagher.
Champions.